I know you know a lot about this, but I'm gonna go over it in some minute details and give you a little bit more. The key to a successful session for me is to get people smiling. Why? Why do you get them smiling? To get them serious. Because if they're smiling, guess what happens? They're moving their face. If they're smiling, they're not concentrating on the camera as much. If they're smiling, they're having a good time, which makes them more apt to be able to give it up to you and forget about the camera. If they're serious and you can't get them to smile, and you say jokes or things that don't crack a smile out of them, it makes you look like a chump because you didn't get them, or it makes you feel insecure about your direction because you weren't able to get them to smile. Now, once you develop the shtick and a good way to make them smile, it will make you more confident. Let's say you've got a repertoire of things. You should be writing down everything that you do that makes people smile or laugh in front of your camera and bounce it off the next person. Now, not everything's gonna work the same. And you've seen me in action, and your personality may not be the same as mine, so the way that I do it isn't gonna be the way that you're gonna do it. But you have to have this list of things that work. When I started, I had a whole list of things, and I built off of that. When I say something funny that I think works, I write it down. Most of it comes through this natural behavior that I've developed over the years. It's gonna take time. But you already know what's in your repertoire that has worked in the past because you've said it again, all right? First thing I say to people when they're in front of the cameras, don't look so miserable. Usually get to smile. It's an easy one, piece of cake. You should know that by now. Easy, done, do it. I don't want you to get uncomfortable or feel under pressure. Every photographer feels the pressure of making someone smile. Don't want to say smile. Don't ask people to smile. You'll get this. The minute you see that, you got to tell them to shut their mouth. You got to bounce stuff off people. If somebody, like for instance, somebody comes in and I start joking with them and they laugh at everything I say, they might be a smile. They just think I'm like, you're just laughing at my jokes, it's going to be a good shoot. Somebody comes in and they're real serious CEO or whatever, or just any actor just doesn't laugh at my jokes, I'm like, oh boy, got to go a different direction. Got to hold it back, and you always have to be able to backpedal. You say something that you think's going to be funny that doesn't hit, you got to backpedal out of it so that you're still confident and they feel like you know what you're doing. So I actually acknowledge the fact that something doesn't land. I'll say something, whatever it could be, that the person doesn't flinch. I'll be like, well, that one didn't fly. I'm gonna have to go a different direction with you. One of the things that I do with corporate people, or people that get in there and they try and smile, they're like this. I will say this to them, exactly this. Don't half-ass that smile. What are you doing? You're half-assing the smile. Everybody laughs. Everybody's like, okay, I don't want to half-ass. My half-ass smiles look like this. You don't want to half-ass the smile. Don't half-ass the smile. Now you have to swear. You're saying ass, which means that you have to be confident saying that. If you're not confident saying that, then you can't use that. You have to be confident in whatever you say, or you might offend the person with the swear, and you have to backpedal. So here's one that you could try with people if they're willing to do it. It's not, some people will do it, some people won't. You can bounce it off somebody. Don't make somebody do it that doesn't feel comfortable. You can tell them, now you have to practice this too. You have to say, I really want you to fake your smile. I want you to do a big fake smile. Because what a big fake smile does, if you're good at it, it looks real. If you're not good at it, the fact that you're faking it will cause you to laugh, will cause the laughter, and then you get real. So here's the story I always tell. When I modeled, my agent had their stable of guys. When a job would come in, hey, we need it's a commercial job, we need a guy that really has a great smile, good energy behind it. Now my teeth aren't perfect, and there's other guys that had like perfectly white, perfectly symmetrical teeth. However, they couldn't smile. I'm like a pro. They couldn't smile like me. And my agent was like, how come every audition, there was this other guy named Peter, and she's like, either you or the other Peter get it. And I'm like, well, she's like, what do you do? I said, well, most of the models go in and they do this. And they look like that in the camera, and I was like, I don't do that. I go in and I go, How ridiculous does that feel? It feels ridiculous. But if you get your person to do that, they'll feel ridiculous and the smile will become real. That's a technique that you have to decide whether you're comfortable enough with the person to have them do that for you. And it's great. Now, if you can generate spontaneous smiles, we're gonna get into what I call residual laughter, which you know about by now, hopefully. What I do is I get whatever the initial hit is that causes the smile. A lot of things that I use are my Hurleyisms. You're gonna get the Hurleyisms doc. I'm gonna post it so that you can grab it. We're in this far in, you gotta have the Hurleyisms doc. Now, when you look through that document or you're trying to figure out what you're gonna use from it, really pick and choose stuff that you only feel comfortable with. Only go as far as you want. Now, I ask people to do anything that's crazy. You know, I do, I go really far, really fast, because I have an innate ability to backpedal and have the person in the palm of my hand really quickly. It took years to do this. Don't feel like you have to throw these out. If you're not confident, don't throw them out. Otherwise, only pick the ones you're confident with. All right, sometimes very easy ones that are safe create laughter. For instance, give me a look like you're experiencing a coincidence. Like they'll look at you like, what? And then they'll laugh, even though a look like you, if I experience a coincidence, coincidences are cool. I'm like, well, I experienced a coincidence, And if you get that, great, they'll usually laugh after that. And there's nothing that's gonna hit you with them that they think would be weird. That's not that weird to say. But if you say something like I say, just do me a favor and just squinch up your ball sack about an inch. That's weird. Like it's either gonna hit them or it's gonna throw them off. You don't say that unless you have a way to backpedal out of it. You already connected with the person on another level. I say that to guys. So with women, I don't get anywhere near anything like that, but I'll mess with women and stuff, but in a different way and depending on how I feel. Most of my stuff that is funny, I feel is directional. So and it's easy. Directional stuff is like one of the easiest things that you can do. Like move your left shoulder towards the Eiffel Tower. Well, this is my left shoulder. I'm in New York. I know the Eiffel Tower is that way, so I just want to go like that. But now for somebody to figure that out while you're shooting them, usually strikes them as funny. Anything directional, anything. Turn your hips slightly towards the Canadian border is one of my favorite. I was in Seattle doing Creative Live and I was like, we're near the Canadian border. Turn your hips slightly towards the Canadian border. That's funny, but it could be anything. One of the ones that I'm saying recently is I want your head to lean on the same exact angle as the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Now, if you don't find that funny, don't say it. If you don't have a way to back out of it, if the person thinks you're weird, don't say it. Figure out things that are easy for you that will make people potentially smile. My favorite one for a slight smile, I never say the word smile, but I say smile in the weirdest way I can think of. I'd say this every day. Pull the corners of your mouth toward your earlobe so your mouth starts to form a U. And then that should generate the laughter. Anyway, every time you get somebody to smile in front of your camera, you write it down. As you develop your shtick, you'll get more confident. As you stand behind that camera and you give them these little things to do, you're gonna get more and more confidence out of it. I use physicality. I'll get behind my tripod and I'll just start going like, okay, I think I got this. Like I'm moving around like in a weird way. That's hilarious. Like anything that draws attention off of them and to you. Now, residual laughter, usually you'll get them, what you do is you get them to hit with the laughter. The laughter, whatever if something's funny is said, people laugh, the laughter goes up, your smile gets really big, and then eventually what you're laughing about drains out of your body. We don't hold laughter that long. You're shooting the way up and the way down. And what happens is that somewhere in the middle, I usually talk to people that are gummy about this, or people that hold back their smiles. Let it rip. At the top, it's gonna be the biggest. You're not gonna use that shot, most likely, I tell them. But as you come off the smile, in here, in this curve, is where the smile's perfect and really nice and it works. So your job is to get a couple shots, you hit the laughter happens, boom, the people go spike. You get as many shots in as you can that are in focus, the people might be moving around, you get them to stay still, get their jawline out, keep the energy of the smile, be like, keep the energy, that's great, oh my gosh. Shoot down the laughter, up and down the scale. So you get maybe 3 shots as the laughter to its peak and 3 shots down, and you got 6 shots to choose from that could be great smiles, really natural, and you can never ask somebody to smile the same way as a real smile. You see real smiles a mile away. There's something that our face does when we smile for real that you can never ask somebody to do. That's my work. That's really what it's about. Plus the fact that they're smiling loosens them up so I can get the serious and everything's based on smiling and moving the face around. I do all this crap to get them to laugh so that I can get them serious, and then serious, and then laughter, and then serious, and then laughter, and then in between like this, in between, I got in between, and then I'm doing residual laughter and back down, and then serious, and then back over here, and meanwhile I'm looking at all different angles and all different stuff, and that's what you gotta do, so get it done and figure it out your own way. Get them to smile, don't ask, get it done, figure it out, write it down, build your shtick, and never stop for the rest of your life as a photographer. No more say cheese, no more 1, 2, 3, no more of that. Get them to smile on your own, and that will be a skill that is so valuable to you behind that lens for the rest of your career. Drop your ball sack an inch, twist your nut sack towards, vary the distance between your nostrils 1/4 inch. Nope, that's too much. Don't move, stay right there, don't move. No, you're moving. What are you doing? And just a little bit. But I still get to the point where I'm like, what am I going to say to this person, make them laugh? I forget my shtick. Got to have your shtick nailed down. Get your shtick nailed down, and then once your shtick is nailed down, then you can do whatever you want. You can do this. Guys, if you like this video, you're absolutely going to love what I have going on over at the Headshot Crew. It's an absolute smorgasbord of material just like this that I've been working on for the last 10 years. So click the link below, check it out, and do not forget to subscribe to this channel. I got stuff coming out just for you.